All right, fam, so welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday for tankers. Now, we're doing a pre-trip on this trailer before we go get it loaded. So this is an empty trailer. Now, everything else is gonna be the same as any other trailer, lights, brakes, tires, all that good stuff, but we're doing tanker stuff here, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so when you're doing the tanker pre-trip, you want to make sure, first of all, that everything is nice and snug, right? But a good thing to do here is to open this up and take this off and make sure that you have all the seals that you're going to need, because you don't want to be missing a seal when you are unloading. And it's pretty simple. You just unscrew this. It's looking harder for me because I'm just using one hand. Take this off. All right, unscrew this and then you take that out. And as you can see, there is also a little bit of residue, so we're gonna have to get that cleaned out before we go, because they will reject you for stuff like this. Now, what seals or gaskets are we looking for? Well, as you can see, there's a gasket right here that we need to make sure that's there. There's another one right in here, this one here. Make sure all these are on, and you're good to go. And we will just put this back in there. It's a lot easier done with one hand, I mean with two hands, but I'm kind of struggling right now. All right, so another thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure your internal is nice and closed. So all you gotta do is, if it's open, the internal is open, you just pull this back and it'll close the internal valve. So there's two types of protection, so nothing will come out of your trailer when it comes to back here. So you have your internal valve, which is, can't see it in here, somewhere in here. Anyways, trust me, there's an internal valve in there, and then you have this valve right here that you turn to seal it off. But the internal valve is the one that mainly keeps the product from coming in here. We also want to take this cap off. Today's a struggle with everything. And make sure that that's nice and clean as well. And as you can tell, there's residue in there too. A little rag, we'll just go through here with a little rag, clean this all up, and then you should be good to go. All right, now off to the top of the trailer and finish off our pre-trip inspection on the tanker. All right, fam, now that we're up on top, we must inspect a few things. First of all, make sure all the caps are on, there's none missing. Make sure everything is plugged, this is all shut off, even though the trailer is empty. But if you get caught with any of this stuff open or off, that is a for sure ticket. Make sure that these caps are on nice and tight. Make sure everything up here is nice and tight, this cap up here. Now, you also have to open it up and look inside to make sure that it's odor free and that it's dry and there's no residue down there. Now, the marks that you see down there are actually, the black marks are actually, when they get in there, it seems like with a grinder or something to clean whatever residue was in there or any repairs that were made. Once that's done, you go ahead and close her up, and then go ahead and seal her up. Make sure all the way around. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention real quick, take this back off real quick, is make sure that you have a gasket around here, because it's not going to be a good deal if you have to air off and you can't get a good seal. So gotta make sure that's on there as well. Make sure everything is nice and clean up here. As you can tell, we're gonna have to take all these seals off. People take them off and then they just leave them here. And we're gonna have to take them off, because if one of these going down the road, falls off and hits a windshield, this is metal, that's not gonna be a good deal. One last thing I forgot to mention, that you are gonna need a washout ticket when you show up to your customer. Now, they're always normally placed in front of the trailer like this, because that way when you hook up your lines and everything, you see it, you grab it and take it with you. You don't want to lose this in transit, because then you might have some issues on getting another one, and it's going to slow you down at the customer. Now, this kind of gives information on what process they use to clean the trailer, what chemicals they use to clean the trailer. Sometimes it'll say what was in the trailer before. So never show up without this, because this could be a headache, or it could be the determination on whether you get loaded or not. They will reject you and send you back if you don't have one of these at most places.